Welcome. Here's a quick video on how you can register a new domain using IBM Cloud and then use your new domain to build an OpenShift cluster in Google Cloud. Here is a high-level picture of what we're going to do. First, I'm going to log into IBM Cloud and purchase a new domain name. Since I'm using IBM Cloud will be my registrar. Next, I'm going to log into my Google Cloud platform and configure a new zone in Google's Cloud DNS service. We'll take note of the name servers that are assigned to the zone for the next step. Now, all I need to do is log back into IBM Cloud and update my domain to point to the Google name servers. When these three steps are completed, anytime somebody makes a request to my new domain, the request will get routed to Google's name servers for lookup. There are lots of places that you can register domain names, such as GoDaddy, Domain.com, Bluehost, as well as IBM. Companies that allow you to buy domain names are referred to as domain name registrars. We will be using IBM as our domain name registrar for this demo. Just note that these same steps will work with any registrar you choose. I've logged into the IBM Cloud, and I'm going to look up the domain name registration service. Here is where we will register our new domain. First, we need to verify that the domain that I want is actually available. And since it is, I'll go ahead and purchase the domain. Now that we have our domain, we're going to move on to step number 2. I have logged into the Google Cloud platform. I need to look up the Cloud DNS service. The Cloud DNS service is where we will create a new zone. You can give your zone any name you wish, but the DNS name that you use on this configuration page must match exactly what your domain name is you purchased in the IBM Cloud. Now that you've created the zone, you'll be taken to a page where you can view the name servers. These are the name servers that you'll want to take note of. We'll be using them in the next step. Now that we have our domain name registered in IBM Cloud and our Cloud DNS zone created in the Google Cloud, we need to update our domain name to point to Google's name servers. When you complete this step, the changes will take some time to propagate throughout the internet. I recommend waiting at least an hour before you attempt to use the domain so that you don't create a negative cache scenario. Take note that the name servers usually end in a dot when you're looking at them in Google. You don't need this dot when you're configuring the name servers in the IBM public cloud. I will be using the Dappy Scripts to build my cluster, but I want to note that there is nothing special about the way I configured my domain or the hosted zone. These same steps will work whether you're using the Dappy Scripts to run the OpenShift installer or if you're using the OpenShift installer without the Dappy Scripts. There are 4 variables that you'll need to set in the Dappy environment file and a service account JSON file that you need to put in a hidden directory in root's home folder. The directory is going to be again with a dot, and it's called .gcp. Inside of that directory is where you will put the service account JSON file. That's needed for Dappy to be able to connect to Google. The variables that you'll need to set in the environment file is the base domain, the install type, the GCP region, and the Google project ID. I have completed the steps to build a cluster using the Dappy Scripts in Google Cloud. As you can see, the base domain name is part of the URL for me to get to my cluster console.